Good morning from Kenya. Good evening to you all in the US. So, my view may be a little different because I am recording from two different angles and I don't know, little tech support today. But today I wanted to take time to talk to you about setting boundaries and saying no gracefully. As we approach the holiday season, we tend to be pulled in all kinds of different directions. And when we look at the holidays along with everything else that is going on, it's important that we take time to prioritize ourselves. So I want you to just focus on that saying no because for a lot of people, myself included, saying no can be difficult. When in actuality it's not. Saying no is a two-letter word and it means so much. It carries so much power. But sometimes we just have to know how to say it. And so the first thing I want to talk about is just maybe just being clear and honest. You know, just say, I'm so thankful that you invited me to ABC, but I'm already committed to DEF. Very simple, straight to the point. I find that when we try to embellish, is when things kind of go sideways. So let's try to be very clear, straight to the point. You can even tell them I've decided to just have a quiet holiday this season and, just focus on myself. The thing with giving more information, I'm going to be honest, it tends to come with more questions, a little criticism, more, people digging into your business. So I tend to like to keep it sweet and simple, but sometimes we feel a need to embellish or add on or explain ourselves, when in actuality you don't have to explain yourself to anyone. If you decide that's not what you want to do, then that's just not what you want to do. In the same way you would over explain to help someone, you know, or people don't need a whole bunch of explanations when they're asking you to do things. So let's try to focus on just being clear, honest, and straight to the point. Another thing that you can do is more of a sandwich approach. This is basically where you deliver your no with a nice gratitude of kindness. So, for example, you may say, they may invite you somewhere, and you say, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to make it, but I'm sure it's going to be amazing. I'm sure you all are going to have a lot of fun. I'm sure it's going to be outstanding. All of these things are perfectly okay. And what it does is it puts the ball back into their court and it kind of strokes their ego a little bit. So saying no doesn't sound as bad when you say, oh, I'm not going to be able to make it, but oh my God, I imagine it's going to be amazing. It's going to, oh, send me pictures. So that's another way to do it. I told y'all this morning here where I am, but that's another way to do it. It's just sandwich that approach, make it go off a little nicer. Now, another thing we can do is setting your limits early and communicating those boundaries. And I'm really bad about this. I'm really bad about overcommitting to something and then having to later go back and say no. And what I found is that like that is the worst thing. It's just so much better to I'm always messing with my hair, y'all. It's just so much better to say no in the beginning, because then they can plan without you. And I think for some of us, for one, I know I'm a perfectionist, or if you're an overachiever, you may want to do everything. That may be the case. You want to do everything. You want to please everybody. You want to be part of everything. However, mentally and emotionally that may not be good for you. That it tends to stress you out. It tends to create overwhelm. And at times it can create resentment. So sometimes it's just best to go ahead, say your no early, and be done with it. If someone says, "Hey, do you want to go Christmas shopping with me?" No, not this time, or not this year, or just no. Because remember, if we add those little additives, sometimes that can get us in trouble because it's like, oh, no, not this time. What about next time? So maybe, oh, do you want to go Christmas shopping with me? No, I'm not really doing a lot of spending this year, so I'd rather not tempt myself. But how about that sandwich? But I'm sure you're gonna have a lot of fun. Everybody is out there doing all this Christmas shopping. It's gonna be so festive. So that's another way to do that. So we talked about three different ways. We want to make sure we set those limits early. We want to make sure that we can also use a sandwich approach and just being clear and honest. If these three tips helped you, or you feel like, who, Charisma, I'm gonna need some more because my family, or my friends. So if you feel like you need more help, or you're feeling like the stress of the holidays is getting to you and it's really becoming a lot to handle, for you in the US, tomorrow evening at 8:15 p.m. Eastern, we are doing the Can I Just Stay Home for Thanksgiving Masterclass. And this is a masterclass, so we'll talk. I'll give you some information for the first part of the class, but the second part, we will do a more supportive type group where we'll cut the cameras and kind of talk through some of the feelings and some of the things we can do. We'll also go over some different herbal treatments that may be, or supplements that may be helpful for you. And we'll just discuss setting boundaries and finding your peace. So if that's something you're interested in, the link is in the description, or if you're on Instagram, it may be in the little box. You know where it is. But go ahead and click the link, and it's free. Master classes are always free. It's my way of giving back to you all. I think it's just very important to find a way to give back. So I look forward to seeing you tomorrow and helping you during this journey. All right, y'all. Good night.